Hey everyone, it's Whitney from Butch Talk, and I'm coming at you with another video. So recently a subscriber of the channel requested a video, and y'all are more than welcome to do that. So I'm going to jump in and talk about girlfriend do's and don'ts. Do communicate. This is a huge one, and it's probably the most important thing I'm going to talk about in the whole entire video. Communication is huge because people can't read each other's minds. Even if you've been with your partner or your girlfriend for a really long time, you still don't know everything they're thinking. You don't know exactly what they want all the time. You can guess, but sometimes you're wrong. So communication is huge, and when I say that, I mean a few different things. First off, listening. And when I say listening, I don't just mean you're quiet when the other person is trying to tell you something. I mean you're actually hearing what they're saying. Something that I've recently been trying to be better at is being mindful when people are talking to me. So being mindful is kind of like there's no judgment. You're just taking in the present what's going on. And I think that's really important when you have a girlfriend or a partner, multiple partners, whatever, because to get caught up in what you want to say next, you're not really hearing what they're saying. Another thing about communication is being assertive. That's another thing that I've been learning about and trying to get better at is being assertive. And I don't mean being rude or being tactless and just being like, well, I want to do this, or I feel this way, so we're going to do this. Being assertive means you're putting yourself out there and you're saying what your needs are and what your wants are and sometimes what your feelings are, and you're doing it in a way that you're trusting your partner will take that in and respect you. So it's not even necessarily that they're going to agree with you. At the very least, you'll come to a compromise. Don't cheat. If you have an open relationship or it's poly, there's still communication that needs to be had there about what both of you feel like is acceptable and what kind of communication you need to have around that. But if you're going beyond what the agreement is, that's cheating. Don't do it. Do cutesy stuff. So I know some people aren't super romantic, but I'm a big fan of doing the cutesy stuff. So anything from, getting your girlfriend flowers to writing her little notes just to tell her that you're thinking about her. If she makes or brings a lunch to work, like doing that for her in advance. I've made a cake for a girlfriend before. Okay, so my favorite little cutesy thing that I did for someone I really, really care about recently is I bought them a pie that I thought they would enjoy, and I wrote on a little note, I would throw my pie for you any day. If y'all know where that's from, write it in the comments below. Do not spy. People get insecure in relationships sometimes. People end up being like, oh, well, I'll just check some of their texts or I'll check some of their emails or whatever. Don't do it. That is like a huge no-no. Trust is gone after that because then you're just going to keep wanting to check. You're going to keep wanting to keep up with it. Don't do it. Do. Respect boundaries. We all have boundaries. Even when you love someone very much or you've been with someone and you care about them, we all have boundaries. And I'm not just talking about physical boundaries. So there could be things that you may or may not want to do in the bedroom, but you have to communicate. Again, it comes back to communication, what you do and don't want. And then it's up to you as a good girlfriend to respect the boundaries. It's not saying that those boundaries can't be shifted over time. Maybe you become more comfortable with yourself and with each other, that you're able to kind of renegotiate some boundaries physically, but respecting those and not pushing too hard when they're put in place. Emotional and mental boundaries as well. Sometimes people have had a really, really tough day at work or whatever, and maybe the only thing you want to do when you get home is talk about something really intense or bring up something. Your girlfriend's just not emotionally there and she needs to kind of take care of herself. You need to respect her boundaries there. Don't lie. When I say this, I'm 100% aware that everyone lies. So people will tell little white lies like, oh yeah, I really like those shoes you're wearing. And in reality, in your head, you're like, no, they're ugly shoes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying like big major things. Don't lie about like where you're going or what you're up to or anything like that. That just will ruin trust. So don't do that. Do take care of yourself. This is a huge one, and I will admit that I have definitely not taken care of myself to the best of my ability in almost every single relationship I've had. If you're not well, if you're not healthy, if you're not, making sure that you're, spending time with friends, if you're keeping up with your hobbies, if you're making sure like mentally, emotionally, everything is like sound for you, you're not going to be a good girlfriend. Take care of yourself. That's a huge thing. Don't try to be the only one in your partner's life. I know, especially when I was a lot younger, and I've been guilty of that when I'm older too, I tried to be the most important thing to that person. Yeah, don't try to be your partner or your girlfriend's everything. It's not healthy. People need other people and not just one other person. People need friends. People need other family members. People need, co-workers, people outside of you, and space. Having girls' night out or boys' night out or whatever away from your partner is totally healthy and normal. I don't think you need to be joined at the hip constantly, and honestly, if you are, chances are it's going to get old real quick because you're not really going to have that much to talk about. Have separate things too. It's okay. You can have different hobbies. All right, those are my major do's and don'ts of being a good girlfriend. If you have anything else to add, write it in the comments below, and I will see you next week. All right, see ya. Bye.